that's Jody's report. Just
I
showing
know,
that
but I'm
she's,
looking at that. Those are nice interest rates, unless
Yeah.
that's the interest we're paying.
yeah,
I think
no,
that's the interest we're
we're
receiving.
receiving.
4.25.
Mhm.
Dang.
Steve, are you showing 6:30?
Yes, I am.
Okay, as am I. Good evening, everybody. It is 6:30 PM on August 17th, and we will call the City of Choteau Council meeting to order. Everybody will rise that's present. We will do the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I'll fix my computer screen here. There we go.
We have no video tonight.
Just
It's going out. Steve's doing it. Mel's on at the school board.
Right, I forget. No,
so it's not our faces, it's just the.
Yes, that's actually showing out there tonight.
Okay.
For those out there watching this evening online tonight with us are the city clerk, Jody Rogers, Public Works, wastewater guru, as I call him, Levi Wareheim, Sean McGuire from Sweetgrass Development, and Councilman Diakos is zooming in from home. So our first thing on our agenda tonight would be to open the public hearing on our fiscal 2022 budget and fiscal 2022 assessments.
Does that require a motion?
It does not to open it, just to close it.
Okay.
Billy, anything you want to say on our budget tonight, or you got something for later on?
No, I'm just listening.
Okay. Gentlemen, before you is the budget. That's what our levies have done since 2013. That's the value what they've been at, and that's where they're at now. Joey put that together for me. And on your screen up there, you guys, you can see is this slide here of what it would do for a house. So, hey Jody,
Yes.
so would this be 21-22 and not 21-20?
Well, yeah. Mhm.
So the
Sorry, I
top-
cut and paste and I didn't do very good.
Yeah, the top part's good.
Yeah, I need to fix that.
Yeah. So you can see everything.
What's our maximum mills we can charge 100?
I don't think it has a maximum mills as much as it has a value.
The maximum mills that we can levy is the 99.85.
Yes, 99.8.
So we were down in the 1920 year.
Wait a minute. That, Steve, that's not the right one.
Is it not?
That's last year's.
Yes, that's not the one we're looking
That's
at.
not the right one.
No, it's
I'm
not.
sorry.
We're looking at.
I flaked out a
So
little.
we're gonna, this year you're looking at,
It's 96 point.
It's because I'm looking at last year's agenda.
Oh,
Yeah, you are.
yeah, looking at the day.
okay. That makes me feel better. Let me see. I can look at mine.
To
So
behave obsequiously to one.
So it's like, it's 97.92
92.
mils.
Yes,
Last year was
Down from last
99.85.
99 down from last year
Okay.
because of the value of the mill went up slightly.
Yeah, our surprisingly, our mill actually, I know this isn't much, guys, but it went up $100, which really that's a lot for Choteau. So,
We kept everything else the same way.
I
We
think-
talked about.
no,
street lighting.
we're raising, right, this proposal would raise street front footage 15 cents. Because last year with the street budget, we had sold gravel.
Oh, yeah, that's correct.
So this, in order to be able to do the project the same again next year, we're gonna need a little bit more budget. So that this will be helpful.
So you'll see street maintenance went from 110 last year to 120 to 125 this year. We talked about changing the street lighting, but we don't have all of the LED lights aren't in yet. And talking to some of the other cities that did this, they said, wait till all the LEDs are in and see what your actual savings is before you do that.
Gotcha.
Okay,
Councilman Roger, you had something?
Just a minute.
He's doing math. The banker's doing math.
So are we in need of a motion tonight, or is it just a first reading?
This is first reading. It's open. It'll be open through our meeting on the 31st. Then people can comment in person, in writing, online between now and.
But we don't have a motion to pass from reading to reading.
Nope.
Okay.
We do not. And as you look at the rest of the budget, like Steve, that they've got up there right now. The things to remember are the general fund, the tax revenues are pretty much what runs this side of the house. The enterprise funds, the water, the sewer, those types of things are what runs Mike's side of the house, and that's what funds it.
Mhm.
Here's your expenditures. Steve, do you have a final proposed budget that shows a chart, a graph of major fund expenditures? Or is that just me?
And it's just-
That would have been in the email, Steve, on the Monday before the meeting. Sorry.
No, it's all good.
So, and I'll leave this down here for people to look at. Our largest expenditure is truly right, you know, according to our graph, is our contract with law enforcement. Out of our general fund. Our largest general fund expenditure is a contract with Teton County Sheriff's Office.
And how much is it?
It's a little bit, I think they're 145-ish.
Because it's off the chart on.
Yeah, it is. The Charlie goes to 100. It's pretty much static. Other than the increase in the street footage, and we did that so we'd be able to continue to do our chip sealing projects the way we want to be able to do things in the past. So you can see on a $100,000 house in Choteau, it would be an increase of $12.
So on this list under expenditures is personnel service law enforcement? Or is that solely city employees?
Which one are you looking at?
Under expenditures, 5210, personnel services first line.
Oh, that's water. Law enforcement comes out of general fund.
Oh, that's water
Yeah,
personnel
52.
services, is that city employees?
That's city employees.
City employee, yeah, that's public works people that are involved with the water side.
Well, and Tom and I and Becky somewhat,
Yeah,
not fully.
Jody, you guys are paid out of water and out of general fund, right?
We're paid out, yeah, we are all paid out of a percentage of, Mike's crew is paid more out of the public works. We do some of it because we do the bookkeeping part of water, sewer, garbage. We don't take anything out of streets.
Right.
So what that isn't in, I don't have that. I have water, I have that sheet, but I don't have the one that shows the.
Right, I didn't put everything else in there,
Oh, that's
Mark,
okay, I know it's
because,
like 50 pages.
yeah, I sent that out to you
Yeah,
on, I think Monday
yeah, I know I saw it.
before.
No worries,
Yeah.
I was just curious about the law enforcement one. And we kind of had that conversation before about
Right, law
the hire,
enforcement,
training, employee and staff and all of that for law enforcement will be well over that.
You
Would
would be
be-
looking at $285,000 to $350,000.
Yeah, we
yeah.
pay law enforcement 157,611.
But it would be almost double that to have
I mean,
our own
well,
force.
Oh, yeah.
Conrad spends about 800,000 a year on there. And since.
How many do they have?
Well-
Supposed to have, and how many do they have? Yeah,
Three, they're always looking for
yeah.
employees. They train them and Pondere County takes,
Yeah,
They use the Monterey County Dispatch? Or they
Yeah.
have their own dispatch?
no, 100, yeah.
But by the time you train them, vehicle,
mhm,
outfit, whatever, all the stuff they need.
insurance.
Yeah. 'cause
Once they're
you're-
trained, they're worth a lot more.
Yeah,
No, I know that came up at the debates
yeah.
3 or 4 years ago, whatever it was.
To be
2
honest with
years
you, I
ago.
don't think we could do it for under $750,000.
Okay,
Yeah,
I just thought I'd
And
ask the question.
we would have to go to the public and levy that.
Yeah.
And say, this is what we want to do.
Well, in my opinion, there'd have to be a great need for it, which I don't know that, I don't see a great need for it, so. Okay,
So we will leave our public meeting open at this time for people to comment, and they can comment through our meeting on August 31st. They can reach out, email, mail, come in person. I would prefer the comments to come in writing so we have them as part of the record. Okay? Our next item would be the minutes from our meeting of August 3rd. I have a motion from Councilman Major to approve the minutes.
Second.
A second from Councilman D. Any other questions on the minutes from our August 3rd meeting? Okay, those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Request to be out of state between now and the 31st of August. Nope, no one's going anywhere. New business would be vote on resolution 872, authorization to submit our Montana Coal Endowment Plan planning grant application.
I move approval of resolution 872.
Second.
I have a motion from D and a second from Councilman Murphy. This is for us, Jody, to get the money that was awarded to us through House Bill 625, correct?
no.
No?
This is to do more work to add to our PER.
Oh, that's, yep.
Or that it was just in case we didn't score well on the ARPA money, which we scored very well. But there's also the possibility of round 2 of the ARPA money. And then there's also the infrastructure bill that is coming down the pike. So it's best to have a few more projects added to what we've got. So we're ready. So that the plan is that with the 2, we've got 2 grants, and so nothing will come out of our expenditures through the budget, but we're gonna update just a little bit more. That was Colette's recommendation.
I remember that now. Yep. So I have a motion to sign that and a second. Now that we know that I'm not talking about what I was talking about, Jody's corrected me. Any additional questions? Those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? We will get that signed and lay it on Jody's desk. We'll quick run through reports. City judge report. 6 tickets. 3 MIPs, 2 other miscellaneous. 1 misdemeanor PFA from the looks of it. There was fictitious plates, insurance, partner family member assault, and 3 minors in possession, according to the report. Sheriff's office from, it's actually July 1 to July 31. You guys don't have that in your packet. It came in your email today. 2 citations, traffic citations, 13 stops, 2 assault with weapons, arrest maids, and 2 minor in possession of intoxicating substances, but they were not booked into the jail. They had 81 calls in Choteau during the 31 days. There's a high volume of theft, and you put it on the report in big red letters. High volume of thefts. Almost all reported thefts have been from unlocked doors. Take the time and lock your doors. We spend hundreds of hours investigating these calls, and it takes just a couple seconds to lock your door.
have they made any progress on that?
I believe they have. They found the 2 trucks, the 2 vehicles that were stolen. One of them was up in the county's gravel pit, and the other one was hauled back from Conrad. Yesterday morning, there was a stolen vehicle that was in a chase that ended up west in Ponderay County, and one of the people that was involved there did have a warrant out for Choteau or Teton County and was taken into custody from that. So I believe they're making some progress onto it. They have a better understanding of who it is, and I think they finally
In
got
terms of
the
the thefts?
Yeah.
Okay.
but it was $6,000+ worth of stuff.
Just that one time.
Well, and the multiple times so
Yeah.
far.
I know seems like it's been bad.
Yeah, and it's been all over town. It's not been. Anything. They did get a description of one of the vehicles and they got it by going to a residence who had a camera. Had a home security system and someone said this happened over there and they said, well, call this guy because he's got a camera. They went over there and sure enough, they got a description of the vehicle. So more and more cameras are popping up.
Yeah.
And I'm talking to Keith about it. They're not sure they necessarily want a database if everybody's got cameras, but sooner or later, I'm venturing to guess someone's gonna have a database of who's got cameras just because of what's going on. We've got Jen's report, and I apologize, I didn't have time to talk to Jen about changing the way she did her report. Things just got away from me. So she's got, as you can see on here, district court, 2 of them are transferred to district court. Anything that is a felony automatically goes to the county attorney and is outside the purview of the city. It may start at the city attorney, but as soon as it becomes a felony, it goes automatically to the county attorney. Our bill from Hattersley Marin for $1,000 for civil attorney. Mike's wastewater report. Influence remained low and good. We did have a spike during the big rain event. The night we were all sitting here for our city council meeting, it started to pour. We have not gotten our latest, we didn't get a COVID report tonight, did we, Mike?
No, it'll probably be tomorrow.
Okay. Wastewater is good. Water, we pumped a ton of water. Mike said these numbers are equivalent to August numbers normally.
Yeah, that's usually an August number.
I saw they were super high. They're like 10 or 11 million gallons.
Yep.
But I did see our loss percentage was down.
Yeah, it's only because we're pumping more water.
Yeah,
It's just,
okay.
it's math, it's not reality.
It's bad.
It's just math,
The numbers don't lie.
pesky math.
And we got through our chip sealing. And I'm gonna tell you guys, they did kudos to everybody. I mean, we had people, we had to get county employees, we had civilians helping us. Mike did yeoman's work of pulling this together and getting it done. And as he said, we learn as we do things and we might have a different plan for next year.
Do we have more roads we're chip sealing next year?
Yeah, we're to try and pursue that plan of 6 zones.
Yeah, okay.
6 zones, once
I
every
don't
year.
know what zone we're gonna move to next year yet, but
Let me know so I can move into that zone and have you pay for my chip seal on my house again.
I did have a question. There were a couple of small places that were ground, I think, last fall. And then there's still ground gravel right now. Is there any plan to chip seal those or just when we get to that?
those zones, are you talking about by the tracks?
No, I'm talking about over by the tennis courts, over by the school. There's a,
Oh, that little short chunk?
Yeah.
No, that'll just get done when we chip seal that. We'll
Okay.
grind the rest of that street.
okay, and I don't, there was another one that I got asked about and I forget the address, but. Okay, so, but the plan is to just get to those when you get to those zones.
We're trying to get, part of the reason we had the streets that are other streets were previously ground on that map was just to get everything to where it's gonna be very difficult to remain in budget and have this zone system. But if we can get to that and maintain it in 5 years now, all the roads will be gone over with a double coat, have been milled if they need it, have good conformation, shed water. And then we'll be on a maintenance schedule and we won't be just doing triage like we've been doing the last few years.
Okay.
So it was real important this year for us to get on that schedule. And we're gonna try and stay on it. It's gonna be tough because we're gonna have places where we're gonna wanna address this one street, but it's very difficult money wise to do that.
Thanks, Mike.
Mike, I've got
Park,
a question about the wells. How are we looking compared to last month? Has the water, has the efforts helped the wells?
I think we certainly pumped, I would say, without looking at numbers in front of me, but we pumped almost, we dropped from about 700,000 gallons a day down to 350, 400. So I think asking people to water every other day and water at night helped significantly.
Awesome.
Our wells, they're holding good. We're about halfway down on the Rickham well. So that's pretty typical for this time of year. We were almost there on the 6th of July.
Yeah.
That was a little frightening, just because we didn't know what was gonna happen, but I think everything's gonna be fine.
Awesome. Thank you.
Mike, you got anything else for us?
Nope,
Billy, any comments on the chip sealing or anything?
Our road is beautiful. It's better than yours.
your road came out good.
Pardon?
Your road came out good.
Oh,
I don't know
did
what
it?
it was. Some roads,
I videoed you
Some
guys
roads
working
flooded,
in
some
that
roads didn't.
90-degree.
your
weather.
road, your road worked well.
Oh,
And like I
yeah,
said,
it's a
we-
lot nicer than yours, Chris. I don't care. I'm not the mayor, but
I'm I'm glad, and we owe a big shout out to Helena Sand and Gravel. We owe a big shout out to Brian, the guy who drives the oil truck.
Well, there's-
Oh, those
I'm
guys
gonna-
worked. It was hot.
Yeah, it was real
It
warm.
was hot. They never looked up. They had a straight line.
So, Mike, is there more that needs to be done? Like the stuff that was just laid like last week? Is that it? I mean, we're good, or does the?
It's cleaned up.
We
We
gotta
gotta clean
sweep
it
it.
all.
Okay, so we still need to sweep it. That was my question.
Mhm.
And how long, I mean, is that something you do within a week or two? Is that something you do in the spring? Is
We're
that?
hoping within the next 10 days we get
Gotcha.
out after them. It's gonna depend on, we're trying to piece together our equipment still.
I hear you.
Um,
I'm just curious
So
on the
we'll see what the
process.
weather does.
Yeah, we broke a brush. We broke the
They
chipper.
came back yesterday and
We broke the
scraped our
sweeper.
sides.
Yeah, we broke the
up
sweeper, I
and
should
did
say,
a beautiful job.
And the broom
and the broom,
and the chip.
and the chipper.
So we got that going for us.
Yeah. And the one that
We'll
we
get
did
it back together.
At least we're consistent.
for BJ and Lindsay to get on that chipper that was sent up to us and go from a 1947 chipper that's manually controlled, so like Mike and I were talking this morning, to a computer operated one that goes from 13 feet to X number of feet wide and get her done, Tater Tot.
Well, they had a 15-minute tutorial from the truck driver.
Yeah, from someone, from the oil guy, not from the chipper guy. It was a YouTube type
They
thing.
did
so.
good. Everybody did really good.
Yeah. Your zoning and building report, you can see what's there.
There's a lot going on with that.
There's a ton going on, and we're gonna, at some point in time, we'll come back to this, but there is a ton going on.
Well, and I know that it takes a lot of time for Tom and Jody and the office staff to try and make sure this is all
Yeah.
in order, so.
It is, and we've received the plans for the dollar store. We've got them in the mail, and immediately something sticks out like a sore thumb. So Tom handled it extremely professional and sent an email and said, copy of the zoning and said, here's what you're gonna have to do. So
Where's the location they were looking?
this is the one down on the south end of town.
So is that where that mill was or that elevator?
It'll be between, it'll be south of that, just between, you'll see the stakes are out there where that lost mark off between RPH and those stakes on the north end.
So it's kind of where that little car lot was for a bit.
Yes, that's correct.
Gotcha.
So. Jody, your report. Councilman Major wanted to know what this all meant.
That, what you've got in there, I didn't put in our actual budget reports and for the revenues and expenditures because we don't have anything passed yet, so everything's gonna be in the hole. I didn't think that'd be a good idea. This right here is just our pledge securities. We don't get this much interest. That's what they get, the bank, for their money, not us.
Those are good rates.
I
Yeah,
know,
we were
no.
talking about, so.
No. We get like 0.40. Mhm. That's good for us right now.
Okay.
Who wants to start? Councilman D, since you're out of the building, you can start.
Not a whole lot to report right now. I will say that I can speak to it that the Lions Club did not get their grant for the LWCF that they were looking for the band shell stuff. We did get the money, or are in the process of getting the money for the tennis courts and the pool renovations that we wanted to do. We were pretty disappointed about the band shell. We were pretty excited, but we're still pursuing that. But that portion of it has fallen through. I do want to commend you, Mr. Mayor, specifically call you out for like your just absolute transparency in all things Choteau government. I appreciate it. I just wanted to make a note of that on the record, and I also wanted to thank very much Mike and his crew for the excellent work they've been doing. I feel like I'm saying it every other meeting, and I mean it every single time, that I just continue to be impressed by our public works department and you, Mike, yourself. So thank you.
Thank you.
Councilman Merja, let's go your way.
Okay, a few things. On Facebook the other day, there popped up a thing of the 11 best small towns.
I saw
in-
that.
Yeah, but it had Choteau's zip code as 59436.
I know it did.
I sent an email to them. I got a response. She and I talked back and forth this morning, and she said if she had an address that was right in the city, she could get it fixed. So I gave her the address of City Hall. She got it fixed, so it's now fixed on the article. It was really cool that between home and work, that was able to get fixed. Let's see. I have been kicking around a skate park for years. I've had group after group of young people come talk to me. And I finally was able to get in touch with Tony Hawk has a foundation that does, basically they do money for planning and like that. You apply for the grant, and but they also do, hey, this is what you need to do to even start looking at it and see if it's feasible. So I've actually been talking to this young man since last week, and he and I had a really good conversation. He said that this is kind of exactly the kind of community that they like to help out, and he gave me a ton of resources that I've just begun to wade through on ideas and plans and even just funding for it out there. People, trustworthy people, people they would recommend to do it, et cetera, et cetera. So that's the ball's actually kind of rolling on that. Once I have an idea of what it may cost and where we might, or where I might like to put it, where the city might like to put it, I will probably go to MMIA and talk to them about insurance for it. And then we'll see if it's something we want to do or not.
See this file?
Yeah.
Councilman Merja,
Yes, sir.
I will put you in touch with Gloria O'Rourke in Anaconda. They use that same program, that Tony Hawk program, to put in a skate park down there, and she was involved in it. And she's our contact for MIDA, Montana Economic Developers. Semi-related to that, she helped put that park in Anaconda.
Okay.
Perfect.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Hey, on that, Councilman, I would be interested in helping you out with that. I've
Okay,
been approached on that as well,
okay.
and I have some ideas too, so we can visit a little bit, but I'm happy to help you go through some of that paperwork.
I would love that. There's,
I think we need to reach out to Jeff Ament as well if we're gonna do this.
what is his name?
Jeff Ament, A-M-E-N-T, Jeff. He's the guy from Pearl Jam.
Yes, Mary Sexton, and I could not come up with his name the other day.
He's the guy that funded one in Lincoln, the one in Great Falls as well.
There is also another foundation that they do rural skate parks. That's all they do. So the guy from Tony Hawk was trying to find it. He couldn't come up with it the other day, but he said when he finds it, he'll send it to me.
Cool.
So I got a couple other things in the works, but not ready yet to see the light of day.
Perfect. Councilman Major.
I don't, I don't have anything other than I guess I would reinforce to the council how important it is when a citizen comes. Like I've had a citizen come to me and I'll say, that's a mayor question, that's a city office question. And I know I had a citizen approach me and say, well, one of the council members told me that the city's like this. And so I guess I just want to make sure we have clear lines. So I just want to make sure that, things are referred to the right people. And I'm always really careful to not speak on behalf of the city other than, hey, I can take that to the city council or trying to explain my take on whatever we're doing, but it's just maybe more of a reminder to all of us about that.
And
Does
on
make
that
sense?
line, when someone comes to us or comes to me and I have a conversation with them, the next thing I'm going to do is write it down and follow up with a little letter. And so that I can, put on a conversation. I want this stuff in black and white.
Mhm.
The he said, she said stuff is kills us all. And so, yes, it's a pain to have somebody put it in writing, but if it's truly a sincere complaint or something that's worthwhile to that individual, he or she will put it in writing.
Oh, absolutely. And I always encourage people to put it in writing.
Yeah.
This is more of I think I've talked to a couple of people that have a frustration with the process. And they don't want to put it in writing and they don't want to come to a city council meeting and unfortunately they fall by the wayside, but I think they end up causing more turmoil in the community over situations that they're unwilling to speak on. I mean, I think if you go talk to them, they'll talk to you about it, but they don't have enough faith in local government to follow the process.
Yep.
So I'm always just really careful with, like, I won't say the city's position is this, I'll say my position is this. And if you want the city's formal position, to talk with the mayor or the city office about whatever ordinance we have. So,
It is a unique thing. I'm frustrated with the process,
Yeah.
especially as we're looking to change zonings and looking at some of the changes we need to get done in order to do that. The frustration level in me at times is high.
Yeah, I understand. And it's, like I said, it's just, I've been approached by one or two people in the last couple of weeks. I thought I'd mention it, because I'm always, like I said, I'm always trying to really careful to not say the city's, the city's stance on this is unless I have something firm, so.
Fire chief, assistant chief, which one you want to do? Fire away or councilman away?
I don't think we had any instances in the city limits.
Nothing we're.
Cool.
Close, but still working on, or getting close, I think, to new city engine,
Yep, I have a conversation with those people tomorrow.
I'm sorry, to what?
the new city fire engine.
Okay.
So I think we all hit the top again. Anyhow, rather than buying a new $500,000 to $600,000 truck, we're looking at a used truck. We have one in mind right now. It's in Connecticut. Has about 36,000 miles on it. It's 20 years old. It's just a company that at 20 years, they time them out. Doesn't matter how many hours is on it.
Yeah.
So it's really in good shape. It's 20 years old. So it's gonna be somewhere around the $80,000 mark. So our kind of motto is there, we buy it, we don't like it, we can resell it, but we could buy 4 or 5 of these trucks. And still be,
Still be
you know,
money ahead.
we're gonna get something, I mean. This one should be good enough from what I've been reading about it, we're gonna have to buy some fittings and some hoses for it, but it's ready to go. Part of the sale is we'll have it DOT, it doesn't have a current DOT on it, but that's because they didn't need it because they were timing it out. So,
I was just gonna say, what's the current age of our current city truck?
50 years?
I'd say 45, 50.
Gotcha.
Just curious, what,
I don't know, it's is it that old? It's
It's an 80,
80s
82.
or 70s.
Well, and I guess what I'm asking is, if we buy a 20-year-old, what's the lifespan? 20 years?
Depends how many fires you get.
Yeah.
So exercise.
I don't know what high mileage on a fire truck is.
So our tender truck has just under 400,000 miles on
What about our current town
it.
truck?
Running fine. Current truck, I'm thinking it's only 30,000 miles and it's gotta be 20 years old. We bought it brand new.
and that's the structure truck?
Yeah.
Yeah. So which one would this be replacing?
City two, the 80s model.
Yeah.
Got it, okay.
And if we've been talking at Hall, but we think if we take that tank system off the truck, a farmer would buy that for a bale wagon. I mean,
Makes it
that truck's probably worth 10 grand if you take the tank off.
Yeah.
That's an option too, so that would buy a lot of hose for the new truck. It's also a good pumper, you know, we don't have to sell it, we could keep it.
Yeah.
So
You've got space.
we do. We're gonna get 611 back sooner than later. That's just a free loaner, they like parking it here in
Yeah,
Choteau.
that's one from the fire services training school. It's currently in Big Mountain. They're having a tough time getting their ladder back, is what I've heard.
You
Other
got
than
space
that,
to park it, park
Yeah. So, and you hear something about rezoning, zoning and rezoning, I mean, when, is there a time frame where we might start talking about rezoning stuff or?
Well, the last time the city rezoned, it took 6 years.
It was a.
Like grunting. I would hope we could do it in 9 months.
Mhm.
And to be honest with you, does you want to talk, I mean, do we need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 zones for the city show?
I just wanna throw one out there quick, maybe, it's on my mind, but, so the old hospital right next to the school,
Yeah,
zone commercial,
nope,
industrial,
and so residential A only,
A.
So single family homes.
single family homes right here.
Oh.
So what are you gonna do with the hospital? Let it decay?
No,
So they could turn that into apartments?
yes, if it was zoned into if it was B, it could be.
But
I
it's
mean,
currently grandfathered into its current use.
Yeah, it's currently, yeah.
So what does it take to get it zoned into B so it could be put into?
We cannot spot zone by state law. So this section here would have to be, that entire area would have to be rezoned. to AB. There's a
Okay,
big
so I was gonna say, remind me the difference between A and B.
multifamily, not
That's what I
multifamily.
thought.
Now, can the owner come and request a variance on the zone?
No, because our zones do not, they could ask for a conditional use if we had them, but the 2 conditional uses for our zones are not.
We don't have conditional use,
What's that?
we don't have conditional
We do.
use.
But they don't allow.
But
for
it's
it.
limited.
It's very limited. It's extremely limited. In a perfect world, I would say we have a residential zone and we have a business zone
Commercial, yeah.
and a commercial zone. And in those, we list what we would prefer for our conditional uses. And a conditional use would be granted given the surrounding property owners agree to that conditional use. So you would go from, like I said, it took them 6 years. It was started as a sign variance, their sign code got us to this.
Hmm.
And our conditional uses, Councilman Merja, are way, way small.
Okay,
And if it's not listed in the codes, you can't do it.
right. Which is why the codes are as long as they.
Yeah, so.
We got a question kind of piggybacking off of Councilman Howard's question.
Yeah,
Since the zoning is in code and we've been looking at redoing our code, where is that kind of, are you envisioning that as kind of a entangled process, I guess is the right way to say it?
no, our codes are being changed now and we would do the zoning and then have them updated.
Okay.
You know, and Mike and I and Jody and Tom, we've had our conversations about it and we're gonna go through and start striking what we don't like in it in our current zoning. And we'll go from there. And then when we get to that point, we'll bring the public in, have the public hearings, have the public comments, put it out there and say, you know, you guys here in Choteau need to decide, what do you want to do?
And so you're not so again, to clarify the process, we're not going to do like a zero base zoning, kind of scrap it all and start over kind of thing, or we're going to scratch out what we don't like and keep what we do. Is that what you're envisioning?
I think we'll take, by the time we're said and done, it'll look more like the old zoning.
Okay.
But I don't think it'll be a complete scratch and rewrite.
Okay.
It may come close, but I
Yeah,
don't think it'll be
right.
complete.
But it won't be.
And Jerry
It'll be one wall
Grabansky, Great
standing.
West has been helping us out with that as well.
Sure.
And the county's going through their growth policy too, and we can't change our zoning until the growth policy
Until theirs
doesn't
is in
support
place.
the zoning. So it's all
Sounds like fun.
pinned together, so.
And so then, is there a timeline at this point on the broader ordinance deep dive?
Meaning,
Well, we were talking about this about a year ago about looking at the different code and working.
oh,
with
they've already got it.
suppliers.
They're going through them and taking off the books what is antiquated and no longer associated with that where Montana code supersedes it, where that's already being done. American legal is doing that right now. We should have it
Okay.
back in October.
Got it.
Anything else?
Thank you.
No, Mike and I went through the EDA stuff, so
We're ready to transpose.
close,
Okay.
very close.
My mayor reports in front of you. I need to correct the fact that I got a call from Jordan Crosby this morning and they will not take our letter of engagement has been canceled because they are conflicted out. So we're working reached out to another attorney that was recommended to me by them. And he was on vacation and said he would get a hold of me next week on that issue. This week, we spent a lot of time at the courthouse this week researching stuff and doing things like that as well. My promise to the community and to you guys as council members is that when someone does get us a written complaint, I will respond to it as quickly as possible. It won't take me months to do it. And I will admit I dragged my feet on one of them. So, other than that, we are, things are going good. Our thoughts are with Jody's, with her mom, and we'll get Jody back in the office later this week. And I will tell everybody on the meeting tonight that when it comes to these things, it's family first. We will be here. Tom and I promised we wouldn't do anything to sell the city or give it away while Jody's gone. So Jody, you take care of your mom and what has to be done, and we got your back here at home.
Thank you.
We will go again on the 31st.
We have a public comment.
Oh, public comment, Billy.
I'm the only public, no, you're doing fine.
Okay.
I think you know what you're doing.
I hope we do. There's days I wonder. There are days I feel like I'm swimming with the sharks.
Next meeting at 5:30, 6:30, what time?
We'll go 6:30 for the next one, because that's the way the public hearing is already posted for. And then at the next hearing, we'll discuss going to 5:30s.
Okay.
And if we do, we'll probably do a resolution to do that. We will go to one meeting in September since we had 3 in October. And Jody and I'll pick the date, or 3 in August, sorry. I'm getting ahead of the crowd. 3 in August, we'll do one in September to get us back on schedule. And I can tell you that our first meeting in October will be changed because it's the leagues. That week will be league and we're gonna be gone for that. So we'll address that as we get there as well. With that, we have nothing more. We'll see you guys 6:30 on August 31st. We're adjourned. Thanks, everybody.
Have a good night.
You too, Steve.
Here. I kind of need this here.